How much sweat can a sweaty sweat sweat if a sweat sweat could sweat sweat? She'd sweat as much as sweaty could sweat if sweat sweat could sweat sweat. I use Neutrogena oil-free SPF 30, and I've been meaning to use this forever, but I keep forgetting about it. The Smashbox, the original Photo Finish Primer. I'm going to start off with this many, and then just putting it on the sweat. That's helpful. On my shiny bits, and wherever there's texture. Oh, I should have let this sit a little bit longer. Well, this is gonna be fun. Foundation never sits right here on me, so let's try there, see if that makes a difference. Then I'm just gonna smoosh it around, because that's mixing with the sunscreen that I didn't let finish absorb. So now it's just kind of all smooshing around my face. So I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes, so I'll be back. I think I finally stopped sweating. I don't know what it is, but as soon as I get out of the shower, I'm just a sweaty Betty. Anyway, okay, hi. Welcome to my channel. My name is Paula, and today I'm going to be doing a makeup look. I did this look last night. I was just playing with makeup, and it turned out relatively well. I posted it on Instagram for anyone who cared, and my friend Pooneh cared, which was so nice. And I'm sorry, Pooneh, if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. I haven't said your name out loud in a long time because we've been quarantined and separated, so I super apologize. So she saw the makeup look and she was like, wow, that looks amazing. Can you do that again and tape it or video it? Tape it. Wow. Aging. Here's your chance. First, I have sunscreen on my face. And then yesterday I didn't put on primer, but today I'm experimenting with primer. So this could go horribly, horribly wrong, but I use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. And I'm going to use the foundation Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and it's for normal to oily skin. This is the number 220 Natural Beige. So I'm just gonna put a little bit, gonna try to put a little bit. Yesterday I had way too much because it's a pour. There's no wand or anything to control it. Yeah, no, that's still the same amount. Oh, even more. So that's how much I got in my hand. I will not be using that much. Now I'm gonna use one of my favorite brushes, Real Techniques. It is the buffing brush. There we go. So I'm not pressing too hard. I'm just kind of patting it in and just blending it out, and it looks pretty yellow on my skin. I still have that much on my hand, so we're gonna use some more of it. I'm gonna dab it and start there again, because I want more coverage. There's too much red for my liking. But also breaking out, what the hey? Still have that much left. So let's put some more there. Okay, let's fix up these crazy things. This is my favorite thing. This Essence brow thing, I freaking love it. 4-in-1 palette. I have no idea if the wax actually keeps my brows in place, but I feel good knowing that it's on there. I'm gonna go in with the dark one first, just to give my eyebrows more definition. And I'll be back when I have my brow. This time I'm gonna use the Essence brow gel to lock in my eyebrows. So I'm gonna let that dry. I'm not gonna touch them. They're looking a little bushier than normal, so I'll calm them down once they're dry. I will do the concealer after my eye look. The palette that I'm using has a lot of fallout because it's a cheaper brand of makeup. So if you don't have this palette, that's totally okay. I'm going to show you the colors that I use. You can capture the pigment, the color that I use, so that if you already have makeup and you have a color that's similar to that, you can use that color. Because that's what I never understood about watching YouTube videos until one of the makeup artists was like, you don't need to use this exact palette. Find something that's in your collection already, or go to a store and find a cheaper version of that color so you don't have to buy this. But I did get this from my Bijou beauty box. This is called Love Sucks Volume 8. Just creating a shadow so you can see the depths. That's the awesome thing about makeup, is it teaches you about art. Even though you don't have a color that you want, sometimes you can combine your eyeshadows to create the color that you want. It's science!
It's science.
Woo! And a lot of artists use the back of their hand so that they can create their own color that they're looking for, which is super cool. So these are the colors that I'm using. Let's get started. I'm gonna use the Milani eyeshadow primer. Okay, so I got the eyelid primer on. I'm just gonna wait for it to set for a minute or two. Do you know what's missing? Waffles. She doesn't care about me. So how y'all doing? Doing okay? How's quarantine for you? We're in Canada. I'm in Canada. I'm in Ontario. we're in like stage 3 or something now, so schools are opening up. It's September. I'm going crazy. I've been going through my mind questioning like, well, what's gonna happen? When am I gonna hear from the teachers? All this stuff. I want them to go to school, to socialize, to have something to think about that's not the pandemic that's going on. Everyone gets affected by kids going back to school. Such a difficult and stressful time right now. So there's always that tug of war in my brain where it's what's better right now, mental health or physical health? And right now, seeing how much my kids struggled and how they're acting right now, I believe their mental health needs to be soothed a little bit. So even if I send them to school for a little bit, maybe we try it out for a month and I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. I'm too paranoid about them coming home, bringing stuff home. So I might just pull them out. That's where I'm at. But here's my plan. I read this on Facebook somewhere, so it's not original. But my plan is I don't care what grades they get this year because this year is kind of a crapshoot. So all I want is that my kids are with their friends, are with other adults that are trying to distract them and trying to teach them. I don't care if it doesn't stick. I don't want them to stress out about schoolwork. Pandemic is just too big. It's too big to add that stress to it. So I just want them to do the best they can, do what they can mentally handle, and then drop everything else. Be like, you gave it a shot, let's just put that aside. Maybe we'll pick it up again next year and get it. Because it's not like kids can fail. It's not like they hold back kids a year. They like only in extreme cases, I would think. So why the hell not? I'm just gonna go easy on the kids and give them a break. We can't control the pandemic. We can't really control what the schools are going to do. People are going to follow the rules or they're not going to follow the rules. But we can control our decisions. So I can control what comes in and out of my house. So when the girls come home from school, I can control that they take off their shoes before they enter the house or put them in a bin somewhere as soon as they step into the house. I can control that as soon as they come home from school, they can change their clothes and throw their masks in the wash, what masks they want to wear, the color, the style, and that gives them the decision and gives them some control for the situation too. But it's the little things we can control. Being consistent doesn't mean it has to be 100%. It just means that if things fall off the rails, which they will, because life happens, try to get back up on again. And maybe you need to adjust the system, because I know the first month of school I'm gonna be super paranoid, wiping everything down, making sure, and maybe I'll realize that's too much. It's adding too much stress, and so I might tone it down. Or maybe like, oh, we can do more, we can control more things, so let's amp it up a little bit, you know, depending on what the situation calls. I am not doing makeup, I'm just blabbing. So I'm covering the lid with this first to put down a base so that blending the other colors will be easier. And I'm going up where my socket bone is, just a little bit above that, because my eyes are hooded, and when I look straight on, this whole mobile lid disappears. So I want a little color peeking up there. If you wanted, you could go right up to your brow bone, but I don't like doing that. So then I'm gonna go in with the medium color, this one. And I'm just trying to create shadow and dimension. So now I'm buffing it out. When in doubt, blend. And if you realize, oh dang, I blended it all out, because some powders blend out really quickly, just put more back on. Build it up. You put it in one small spot. Light hand, little product, lots of very light mushing around so that you don't get that super pigmented giant black eye. And you're like, oh hell, what'd I do? I want to keep this area light, and I want to keep this dark because it'll make my eyes look farther apart. Trying to concentrate most of the shadow, the darkness, over on this side, and trying my best not to bring too much of it over that way. Okay, and then I'll do the other side. I did one layer, now I'm gonna do another just to make it a little more intense. Now I'm gonna take a bit of tapered brush, and we're gonna go in, and I'm gonna bring it over to create a pretend crease up there on my socket bone, just to bring the color over a little bit. Touch, just a wee little bit. Oh dang, well that didn't work. I got a little carried away there. Oh, that, shouldn't have done that. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Same brush, darker. I don't want to do the same amount, I want to do a little bit less. In a smaller spot, and then blend it out. And then I'm going to switch eyes just a little tiny bit, and then getting my blending brush and just bringing it over. Then I'm going to take that tapered brush, tiny tippy tap, make it way too dark. Awesome. Just going to remind you, this is how not to. I try so hard. And that did not work. Taking this again, just a wee little bit, tapping it here to release a lot of the pigment, and then bringing it across. So that it's creating a faux crease. So it's a little bit higher than my natural crease is, where my eyelid gets sucked back into my eyeball. Well, that side looks pretty good. What happened over here? I don't even know. Okay, I give up. That's gone like a little out of hand. So I'll clean that up with concealer and stuff. Okay, so the next we're gonna move into these colors. So what I did, instead of mixing them separately, I just took a chance and started with this color first. So I'm gonna take this beautiful angled brush. It's awesome. This is a Japanese 712 brush. It's really good for picking up shadows and placing it down. And I just want to keep the color on my mobile lid and maybe a wee bit higher, but that's it. I don't want it out, and I don't want it on the inner corner. And I'm going right up to where I cut the crease. So if you like that blue, then keep that blue. If you like that look, if you don't need it to be purple, then just keep this. And then you can do the rest of the steps. If you like a matted look, there's no sparkle or shine or sheen to it, then just do this, put on some eyeliner, put on some mascara, boom, you're done. You got a really nice look. I would just blend that out just a little bit more just to soften it up, but done. But I'm not done. I'm going to add some of this pink, because blue and red makes purple. So this pink is red with white in it, so it should create a darker purple. Okay, cool beans. Now I'm going to get a smaller buffy brush just to soften up the edges so that it's not such a crazy harsh line. That's pretty dark. I was like, ooh, I don't like where this is going. It looks kind of muddy and kind of murky. So I'm gonna do my inner corner highlight, because I was like, well, is the highlight going to make it a little bit better? So let's add the highlight. That perks up the look a little bit. And so I went in with, yeah, this shimmery shade. And then I just use my finger to blend it a little bit in with the shadow, so there's no harsh lines. And now, so at first I was like, I want to add a little bit of shimmer, a little pop, just to the center of my lids, just to give it a little bit more dimension. So I tried using one of these, but it wasn't coming off as nicely as I wanted. If I wet it, it probably would have done really well. I wanted to use this anyway. This is Kaja, I think that's how you say it. It could be Kaya. And this color is called Moon Crystal. And check this stuff out. It is a liquid, maybe more like a gel. All you need is a tiniest little bit. Dab it on, Debbie. And I just wanted it on the center. So concentrate it in the center and then tap it out to the edges. And like, wha-bam. I love this stuff. You can do your whole eye in this stuff without any eyeshadow underneath. You just, if you need to prime your eyes, but just this is just so beautiful. It is a moon crystal. Now it's eyeliner. That's actually the hardest part. And if you saw my Instagram, it was dodgy at best. So here we are. We're going to try to... I don't really want to do this because I know I'm going to screw it up. But wish me luck. Here it goes. This is Hard Candy. I like this kind of firm pen because of the sharp tip. It makes a really nice wing with less effort, but you still gotta be really, really careful. I have my mirror and I'm looking down so that my lid is closed so I can clearly see my eyeline. And I started really close, like right in the inner corner. And this is where everything's gonna go to hell. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my eyes wide open just to get up in there. And then I'm gonna blink and smudge it all. This is going well. You can do it! And so I'm just using the very tip and the very edge of this. I'm not using the whole length of it just to get more accuracy because it gets blotchy and this leaks. Like, this isn't the best product, but it was cheap. And I'm trying to stay as close to my lashes as possible because I have hooded eyes. Any thicker and all my makeup is going to disappear. All you're going to see is eyeliner. I only went to about here with the eyeliner. So then I'm going to change the angle. Just where my lid folds is where I want that wing. And I want the wing to be like angled to the point of my nose. So I'm going to angle the brush like that and stamp it. And then connect the line there and get it in my eyelashes. Oh, yep, that's why I saved concealer to last. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute just to let it dry down. And then I'll do the other eye. Tickles, it tickles like crazy. Oh yeah, oh, it's getting globby. This is going well. Okay, I'm creating that flick. Joining the corners there. As you can see, that got messy, but that's exactly what Q-tips are for. Oh wow, it looked like an octopus inked my eyeball. This eyeliner went on very wet, and so just letting it sit for a minute to set before you start doing other things to it is valuable. An honorable mention, e.l.f. This is a makeup remover pen, and it is wicked awesome. Look at that. Gone. And I just need concealer to touch it up. It's like it never even happened. Okay, now I think my eyes are dry. Now I'm gonna go in with a black shadow just to soften eyeliner up. Any kind of flat brush, it can be angled. So now I'm just gonna go over very lightly with very little product, just over the line, just to soften it up a bit. That's my intention. Who knows if it'll work. So I'm gonna start in the middle so I don't start here and ruin the wing, and that I don't make this part too dark. I'm not gonna try to do my inner corner because I know I'll just mess it up and make it look like I gave myself a black eye. And I'm just gonna buff that out on an angle, the edge of my eye to the tip of my eyebrow, just to lift my eyes a little bit. And then I'll use concealer. I'll just take the black that was left over and just make my lower lash line look a little bit thicker. Kohl pencil, this is a Annabelle Kohl in the color 73 black. And I'm just gonna do the waterline just of my top lash, because you can really see the skin there, and I think that looks silly. I'm gonna fill that in. And yes, this also tickles like crazy. Curl the lashes. Yesterday I used the Voluminous Lash Paradise, which I love, except this is getting old and it's drying out, so I'm not gonna use that today. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Better Than Sex, which the voluminous one is very close to this. It just goes on a lot nicer. Getting my lower lashes, because I find a strong eye look like this, I feel like I need all my lashes present and accounted for. My Rimmel Maxi Bronzer in 002 Medium. Yesterday I was like, well, what happens if I just single out one of these colors? So that's what I did, so that's what I'm gonna repeat. If you're wondering what I did to my face, I know, Pooneh, you only asked for my eyes, but I'm giving you the face. Oh, and I'm already getting way too aggressive with the bronzer. I think I did this highlight, this Estate called Do Me Lit. The NYX blush. Now you're probably not supposed to put it that close, but my natural redness goes that close to my face, so that's just where I put it. But if you are trying to make your face a little more shapely, then you can just put it here where you're the highest point of your cheekbone and up, just to do better things for your face. I'm at a loss for words. Whatever. I use the Joe Fresh. It's called Fuchsia 15G16. There's no other information. Oh, lip creme. So I have some concealer on already because I filmed this and then the camera didn't capture it, and then I had to go drop off my kids, and then I came back and realized it didn't work, so I'm just redoing it now. So I have this Maybelline Fit Me 25 Medium Concealer. Robert Welsh put 2 dots in the inner corner and a dot on the outer corner and then gently blended it in. So I did that with the medium one. Now I'm going to go back in with the light one and do the same thing. This is 15 Light Maybelline New York Fit. And we're going to make even smaller dots than what I did before. We're going to try. Tiny dot, tiny dot. I think that was the same. Tiny dot, tiny dot, tinier dot. Real Techniques Expert Concealer Brush. And I'm just going to try to blend that back into my foundation, whatever's left after the 2 hours and wearing a mask. Oh. Where is my brain at? I don't know. Listen. Just, oh. Milani. Milani Make It Last setting spray. Does it make my makeup last longer? I have no idea. I have not noticed it to test it, so who knows. And this is the final look. So minus the dampness of my face, that's what it looks like. Thank you for joining me. If you have seen an eye look on the internet and you're like, how the heck did they do this? Send the picture to me, like leave it in the comments or something, and I will try to recreate it. If you see a celebrity, even if it's from like the 80s or 90s or like the 60s, send me a picture and I will try my best. It's not going to be perfect. I like playing with makeup. You can even say, here's the look that I want, here's the makeup that I have, what can you do? Because I can try to see if I have something similar in my makeup stuff, because I have a lot of makeup. I'll probably have whatever you have or something very similar. Let's experiment, let's have fun together, and I hope you have a wonderful day, week, maybe month. I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks for watching. To help me and my channel grow or remain, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this to other people. I will see you later. Bye.